Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If you wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed him. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
I don't know if this is gonna focus. It's not gonna do this thing. Sell them tonight. They won 7. They didn't make 7.
Oh, God. I'm doing a NASCAR Open too. Fuck it. Clutch opening a beer. Yeah. For those of you not watching the video version, yeah, that was me opening a beer like if you're at a NASCAR race. If you've never been to one, an experience. I'll just leave it at that. I didn't want the season to be like this. Just over the halfway point, and Notre Dame is out of the race for the college football playoffs. And you know what? They're not going to win their conference this year either. I can feel it. The independent league, it's pretty tough. It's really tough. I don't even know. I'm sorry. I know what the score is because actually I turned the game off and now because I just couldn't take it anymore. And that's that's not a fair weather fan type of move, but it's it's just you're upset. No, it's disgusting. So they move. Yeah, it's bad. So yeah, that's which one? Oh yeah. So I got Lou Holtz here. I changed the setup. I got Lou Holtz because this is the last guy that's actually won a championship at Notre Dame. Right? He saved Notre Dame, right? And then you got me as a child. This is what I looked like last night. Pissed off. Sad, pouty face. Yep. I even had the bowl cut. So I have a hat on today. I don't want to show it. 33-20. That last touchdown was garbage. And then they, I heard it was an onside kick, and they recovered the onside kick. Ooh. Yeah, and Hartman. Yeah, and Hartman started the game. I mean, ended the game just like he started it by throwing an interception. Mm-hmm. And so that's how we'll start talking about. The fact is, the first possession of the game, Notre Dame going down the field, and it was bound to happen, and it happened in the first possession. Sam Hartman threw his first interception of the year, and 5 games in, or the sixth game in, right? So no, 7th game in. That was the 7th game. He went 7 games, almost 7 games, 6 games. He was leading the country with most touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Yeah, and that was like he didn't look comfortable after that. And you had made a point, because yesterday was my anniversary, 18 years. Oh, so happy anniversary. Love my wife. I appreciate it. She allows me to do things like this, get away with it. So I do appreciate her. Happy anniversary, Emily. Anyways, Sam Hartman. Yeah, I mean, you were going to point it out. You texted me and said something about a bloody ear. And when I actually got to that point, he just did not look himself, did he? Just the bloody ear was weird. Did he get poked through that little hole? No clue what happened. I didn't care. It was like the week before where you were bitching about the other team's quarterback, the Duke quarterback's mom being in the stands. It's football. Not it. Right. That's true. What was the game on earlier that day? There was a game on earlier that day, and the quarterback's non-throwing hand got smashed in like a tackle, like just smashed. His finger was bleeding. He's like getting ready to hike the ball, and they zoomed up on his finger, and it's just dripping blood. And so when I saw Hartman at the ear, I'm like, Hey, but it doesn't happen that often. You usually don't see a bloodied ear because it's usually covered, unless somehow during a sack he just jostled the helmet somehow, and I don't know. Maybe he went to University Park Mall and got his ear pierced that day, and it smashed and like got all jacked up. He should have been wearing stud earrings. Good enough. It's University Park. I thought they closed that mall. Is it open still? Yeah, it is. Well, they got Scottsdale closed. All right. So another slow start. So that was just a really slow start. Louisville ends up scoring on their first possession, correct? They go up 7-0 and in the first quarter. And just another slow start. The third game in a row where Notre Dame could not get out of the gate and score some points. And just very low scoring game in the first half. And then all of a sudden they throw a TD pass to somebody I've never heard of. Jordan Faison.
80, yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy galloped into the end zone. I was like, I knew he caught the ball a couple of possessions before that. And I was like, who is this guy? I've never seen him. He's a freshman.
I thought it was one of his face. Who's the Great House? I thought it was Great House. And then you guys are like going back and forth in text messages that you never heard of him. And I'm like, I had to look him up.
I thought, now I don't know what was up with Great House. Great House wasn't anywhere to be found.
No, he was in the crib. Something.
He forgot to come. Just some other notes. Oh, yeah. First possession of the second half, right? Is that the second half?
Another interception?
No, they stripped it. Was that when Cam Hart had the strip and the fumble recovery? Or was that in the first? No,
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was drinking heavily.
Yeah, so it was 7-7 at the end of the half. And so the first play, because Louisville had the ball. And I again, I was psyched. I was like, okay, they came out, halftime speech by Freeman, and maybe they're going to come out and they're going to wake up and start playing. Now the defense started to settle in. I noticed that. So the defense had that, that first possession by Louisville was pretty tough. But after that, they started to settle in and they started to get some, 3-and-outs on Louisville as well. So they kept this, obviously, again, here's Notre Dame's defense keeping the score in check. So, and then, Cam Hart, fumble recovery. Here's another thing. Why do we want to run the middle every third down in like a yard or 3 yards? We're sitting there trying to run the ball up the middle. I think we did it like 3 times.
And not even with Estime either.
Right, correct. Well, actually, yeah, and because he got injured kind of on one play, and they brought in number 3. What's his name?
Peace or Love or Payne or...
Yeah, it was Payne, and it's Jabron Payne. So they could not contain Louisville's defensive line at all. And we have one of the, well, from what some say, and we have an All-American on our team, on our offensive line, and we got some pretty decent 4- and 5-star players that had played well up until probably Ohio State and have showed signs of, I don't know, but they're falling apart in the last 3 games. So
somebody said they
need to fix it.
I saw a tweet. Somebody said that, I don't know what they're referring to, but they said that that game they switched the offensive line around. I don't know.
That was the case.
I didn't notice any difference. It was just as porous, if not more porous than before. Here, I'm going to throw this to you. This is something I thought about overnight. New offensive coordinator. Okay. 2 things, actually. New offensive coordinator that was not the first pick of Freeman. Just put that out there. Athletic director put a kibosh on that because the one guy was from Utah or whatever, wanted too much money. So he had to go with this, tight ends coach? Is that what he is? They got moved up to...
Yeah.
So...
But he had coached at West Virginia as their OC, and had some pretty decent stats with them.
Okay. But
he was an assistant coach at Purdue, so he's had a little bit of background knowledge of what he was supposed to do, but the play calling wasn't. He had no game plan.
Well, here's the thing: everyone's like, "Well, why were they kicking ass and scoring a lot of points at the beginning of the year?" Because they had nothing. Those teams had nothing to look at to get their defense in line and to get their game plan in line. Now that they played this many, 2 things. One, now that they've played a few games, now they have a resume to look at prior to the game at hand. So USC being next, they'll have a body of work to look at. That's one. And 2, when your play calling is, your playbook is like 8 plays, it's not hard to learn the 8 plays that you're going to defend. Because their playbook, to be honest, is very simplistic, if you will. It may be complex on every play, maybe how they're pulling guards around and stuff like that. But they keep doing the same shit over and over again. I mean, it's like I think Hartman wants more, and he needs to flourish a little bit, but they're not giving him it. They're not getting any plays. I at one point I tweeted you guys. I said Hartman should just go out there and say, "Fuck you, I'm calling my own play."
Right. And he looks lost, not lost. He just looks dumbfounded out there. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
He does not have good guidance.
No. And you could, the funny thing is that, so there, a viral video that was produced and cut by Notre Dame social media team, and everybody saw it. It was the hottest thing or whatever coming out of Notre Dame football on Twitter and Instagram and everything else. And it was just a behind the scenes look at the game, the last like 2 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever, when Notre Dame came back to win that game. And you could tell that like they didn't know what they were going to do before they gave it to estimate. They were like, run the ball. Should we run the ball? Should we do that? What are we going to pass?
Are you referring about the Duke game? Is that what
yeah, going back to the Duke game. So we kind of had a little insight there, like that, like maybe Hartman is annoyed. No, I think he's just like, he doesn't know what to do. And I think that he's just not getting the right play calls. He's not getting. They're trying to do too many like trick type things. Did you see the one where they fumbled the ball on the exchange, the handoff, because they were trying to be too tricky about it? It's like, dude,
but I just
the damn ball off.
Yeah.
So turnovers. I mean, we were given a number of gifts in this game, and we could not produce points from them. Actually, Tyree was wide open and could not catch a pass over his shoulder. He would have easily had a touchdown, dropped that pass. Let's go right into the fourth quarter when they're down and they it's 4th and 11 and they decide to go for it on like their own 36 or whatever it was.
That was a desperation, but yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but again, like, I think you're still in the game at that point. There's 9 minutes left. You still have a chance for your defense to make another stop, try to get the ball in. Look at the fact that they got that onside kick later in the game. Again, anything can happen in college football. It's just that why are you going for 4th and 11 deep in your own territory? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to do it at that point in the game. 9 minutes left. You shouldn't be doing that.
No,
I don't know. I think it was just stupid. They couldn't stop that speedy running back.
No, that was
Louisville.
That was a problem big time. Notre Dame has had years and years, and I didn't think it was evident this year until I really was watching last night. But they had years and years of poor tackling. Orison at one point went to hit a guy, hit him in the legs, and it lost him. Like couldn't tackle him because he went for the legs instead of just wrapping him up in the body. And when he bounced off of him in the legs, the guy went for another 5 or 10 yards or something like that. So, yeah, I think there are a couple things going on here. Poor tackling with that running, with the running back, and then obviously, how many third downs did they were like 1 or like 2 or 3 for 11 of them third down or something like that, some weird stat. And you know what? If your defense is on the field all day, it's just like we had another game prior to that. It might have been Ohio State, but we said the defense was on the field too long. And yeah, they look great for most of the game, but then they're on fumes by the fourth quarter. So
and penalties, once again, penalties. What's his name? The Hawaiian dude. The linebacker getting a face mask on a third down play that we would have gotten the ball back. And it's just, all these little stupid penalties, we're racking them up, and we're not disciplined. There's no discipline, and that falls on the coaching staff. I'm serious when I say this guy right here was the last coach that actually fucking did really great and showed Notre Dame actually how to play football.
And you don't have to be a big menacing guy. Holtz is a little dude. So
right.
He was able to
he had a philosophy and he got through with his philosophy. I don't know if there's any Brian Kelly didn't have a philosophy. Charlie Wentz didn't have a philosophy. Yeah. Tyrone Willingham didn't have a philosophy. None of these guys had philosophies. Bob Davie, fuck no. Again, like Freeman, he may be, they may be inspired to play for him, but Holtz was at a whole nother level.
Right.
A whole nother level. Hardman, I don't know. I just think he was rattled. I mean, he hasn't played well against Louisville. He turned the ball over multiple times while at Wake Forest. You actually pointed out, well, this isn't Wake Forest, is Notre Dame, or maybe it wasn't you, it was somebody else. Maybe I read somebody that like tweeted like, this is no, the Wake Forest Sam Hartman used to play for. This is Notre Dame, and well, look what happened.
He forced the ball.
He got rattled.
Yeah, and that one, I don't know if his first or he had 3 interceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first or
the
second one. I don't remember which one it was.
And like 2 fumbles, right?
Yeah, the first, I think it was the first interception he threw, and he should have led the tight end. The tight end was coming across left or right. He should have led the tight end. There was nobody on the right side that he would have had to, like a safety or anybody over there. So he could have led the tight end. He instead decided to throw high, and so the tight end would have to go up and get it. And in the middle of running, and he overthrew and threw right over the top of the tight end. Tight end didn't even jump, and it went into a safety's arm that was behind the tight end. And I'm just like, why did he throw it like that? So I'm seeing some fallacies of Hartman. I don't know. For all the years that we've had shitty quarterback play, Hartman still, I think, is probably the best one we've had since Clausen or Quinn. But he makes mistakes too. Maybe he's got him out of his system. Maybe he gets rattled at Louisville. Maybe it's something with, isn't Yum Stadium, their basketball stadium, and Yum is the corporation that owns Kentucky Fried Chicken. So maybe he fills up on KFC every time he's down there and just fucks his game up. I don't know. But, something's going on with the Louisville thing. Luckily, if he goes pro, there's not a pro team in Kentucky, so he's good to go.
Well, we were...
the bright side of that.
And it wasn't like Notre Dame hasn't ever seen their quarterback. Jake Plummer's been probably around as long as Hartman's been around. I mean, he played for Purdue.
That's where he's from.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We played him a few times.
Yeah.
And he obviously he knew what he was doing, and the coaches, I think it was Coach Brian Brome. He's an old quarterback too from Louisville from back in the day. But he's their coach and first year coach, and he's doing well. So I just wanted to get some overreactions by some Notre Dame publications and some fans out there on Twitter as I was kind of like flicking through and looking. I took some screenshots. So let's see if I can share here. Share screen. And let's just all right, here we go. Let's share this one. What do I got up here? All right. Most undisciplined Notre Dame team I've ever seen. This coming from Notre Dame Fighting Irish at Inside the Irish. I'm tired of the we just need to execute excuses. There are obviously way more issues. Now, guess what? Every coach says that, though.
Uh-huh.
Every coach is going to say that. Or they're going to say that it's on us. Or good coaches, we're going to say that we just didn't prepare them
right,
enough during the week. And I think that's bullshit. I think they have to own up to the fact that, like, what they're doing on offense, their offensive line and their offensive playbook are just terrible right now.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, at least they didn't, at least none of the coaching staff tells Columbia jacket jokes.
That was terrible. That was...
Yeah, those of you don't know, Brian Kelly at the end of his press conference, probably on Thursday or Friday, said, all right, we'll see you in Columbia, because they were going to Columbia, Missouri to play the University of Missouri. And as he said that, he started to walk off and he goes, so bring your Columbia jackets. And then it was just like crickets. And then he stopped and leaned back towards the podium and went, that was a joke. Yeah. And he walked off. It's like, stupid joke.
All right.
What else you got?
Now, all right. So I wish I could just flick through these, but I think you have to stop it every single time.
Go back.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's probably a better way. Maybe if I sat down and practiced this. All right, here we go. Next one is pop. No, that's the same one. Son of a beeswax. So I apologize for this. This is slowing things down. But other people out there, they're listening to the podcast. I'm trying to make this a little bit more interactive without using other people's video because you can't do that. Anyways, Barstool Irish. Congrats to Freeman, Hartman, and the entire coaching staff. You fucking blew it. And any hope for the playoffs gone just like that. Probably. But there always will be talk of Notre Dame almost making the playoffs. Oh, there's 2 lost Notre Dame team. Maybe they beat USC, which is good that they actually beat Arizona. USC came back and won that game. So an undefeated USC, if we can beat them at home, it's a little momentum. And if a bunch of other people lose, there's always a chance.
If they win out, the thing that everybody should be worried about is a matchup between Notre Dame and LSU. They're both 2.
And you know what? And that's something to look forward to, right?
Yeah, and Kelly will outcoach the shit this coaching staff if they make it. I'll tell you right now, I know I'm jumping to the end of this podcast, but they're going to lose at least 2 more games. I said this, I think, last week. They're going to lose 4 total games now. There's no.
Yeah, I know. I think they'll be Clemson, though. Anyways, Always Irish at Always Irish and INC. I never want to hear about O-line you again from this fan base.
No, yes, exactly.
Well, I mean, to some extent, yeah, but we have the talent on the team. So why aren't we? Doesn't it come down to coaching? Well, like I understand. Yes, the O-line you, yes, coaches and the players together make an O-line you. So I guess if you don't have the coaches, you're not O-line you. So okay, fine, I'm on board.
No, it's well to that, and it just amazes me that they thought they were going to win the best offensive line in the country award this year. They were boasting about it before the season started, and as the season started, I was like, I don't know. These guys are letting the quarterback get hit and sacked still. That's not what the best offensive line does in the country. And now, how many games in now are we in? 7 games in. You're like, yeah, it looks like it's like they pulled a bunch of guys out of the old folks home and they're up there blocking for Notre Dame. They're horrible. Spindler getting knocked over like he's a bowling pin. I mean, geez, come on. What's up, Clarkston boy? Get your ass together, Clarkston.
It's not good. No. It's not good. All right. This from Tyler Horka. He's, I think he writes for Notre Dame. He writes about Notre Dame football. It's not a good night for Notre Dame when Joe Alt, the All-American, is falling on his fanny and giving up a sack. Why is that? Why is the All-American falling on his ass? I don't get it. I don't get why, this team's head wasn't in the game as well. The coaches' heads weren't in the game. The players were definitely not in the game. I feel bad for the fan base because I think everyone had some high hopes for Notre Dame, even after that 3-point loss to Ohio State. And now it feels like 2016 again.
It feels like pick any year between now and 1997. It's like,
right. All right. Hopefully it's not the same one. Cross your fingers. No, it's from don't know if I can be an ND fan anymore.
Can't tell
Mark ND fan.
He signed up last night to Twitter.
Yeah, I don't think this is. I really don't think that was his handle when I screen. Oh, maybe it was. It has to be. It has to be because I screenshotted it. All right, here we go. Maybe he's back on board. Okay, so at Mark ND fan says, I'm done buying any ND or gear or going to watch games, not for garbage like this. I'm on strike from ND fandom.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Then go become a Michigan fan because that's how they are. They're fair weather fans.
Right.
You stick with your.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm going to say this, and I love my wife, but she says, you know what? Ever since you I put this old flag out, and it's kind of color's a little worn, still navy, still gold. There's a rip in it somewhere for the wind. But you know what? I was like, I'm just going to put it out there. And I put it out there for the Ohio State game. And they lost. But again, they beat Duke, and it was close still. But she was saying, maybe it's the flag. Maybe you need to take down that flag. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. Can't do it.
By now, fuck it now. The damage is done.
Right. Right. If anybody that's going by my house pointing their finger, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, where am I? Stop sharing. All right. So I think I have one more here. One or two more. That's 4. Let's share this one. Bop, bada, bop, bada, bop. Nope. We've seen that one already. So I think we're done.
Let me ask you a question. Me being kind of in the abyss of Notre Dame fans, there's not a Notre Dame base here necessarily. I'll run into one here and there. But you being in Detroit, you're running into probably a few more. But still, you're in Michigan State territory. What happens when you run into somebody that you find out is a Notre Dame fan, and it's somebody that you don't know them, they're a stranger, but you have an opportunity for 30 seconds or a minute in passing to have a quick discussion. What do you think about the Irish? What do you think they're going to do this week? Do you ever have those? And what of those type of people? Do they really get into it? Or are they more like, no, I just bought this shirt at Kohl's. I'm not really a Notre Dame fan.
That's pretty much it. It's either, I'll see somebody, walk around, something with a Notre Dame gear on, and I'll say, hey, go Irish. And they'll kind of be like, hey, yeah, go Irish or whatever. And let's keep walking. They won't even really say much. I've had actual ND graduates come up to me when I'm at work out in the field. And because I'll be wearing a Notre Dame shirt, and they're like, hey, go Irish. And I'm like, hey, go Irish. And they'll ask, hey, did you go there? And I'm like, no, I was from South Bend. And so they'll tell me a little bit about themselves, about when they graduated and stuff. And they'll talk about Notre Dame and still into it. So there are people out there.
I ran into a guy on Friday, parked right at the end of my street, and watched the local high school homecoming parade. As we were leaving, I looked over and I'm like, oh, he's got a Notre Dame hoodie on. So as I walked by him, I said, go Irish. And I expected like you said, hey, go Irish. But he's like, hey, go Irish. And then I looked down and he had the green Notre Dame tennis shoes on. And I'm like, oh, you got nice shoes. So I unzipped my rain jacket and showed I had my polo on, Notre Dame polo on. So I showed him that. He's like, oh, I need something about that and about this. And I'm like, okay, so this guy's a Notre Dame fan. And I said, well, what do you think this weekend? Think they're going to get the offensive coaching is going to get their head out of their rear? And I just hope they win. And he had no comment at all. And I'm like, so do you know who their quarterback is? That's what I should have asked. It's right. Still Brady Quinn. Anyway, I was just curious because of that.
Well, Notre Dame fell in the rankings. They were ranked, I think they were ranked 10th, right, in both polls. Now they dropped 11 spots in both polls. They're ranked 21st. It's just fine,
What can make a huge jump? Louisville, I'm guessing, is going to be high teens.
That's a good one.
They went
probably
25 to undefeated. They've got to be up knocking on 10.
I would say they're in the top 15.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Let's see. So Louisville, 14th.
Okay.
So that's a big jump. They jumped 11 spots, and Notre Dame fell 11 spots.
Okay.
And at USC, they dropped. Did they drop? Wow.
They lose.
They're 10th. Yeah, they dropped.
Why did they drop? They didn't lose, did they?
Because they almost lost to Arizona, and Arizona played a pretty good game. They weren't ranked at all, so they only beat Arizona by 2.
I will tell you this right now. Now, do we have we've got to be having some bye weeks coming up, right? Because we are ahead in the schedule. Is the USC game?
Yeah, I think it's after USC.
Okay.
They're gonna
Okay, so this USC game, I was watching that USC game last night, and I'm like, there is no freaking way Notre Dame is. They struggled with Caleb Williams last year. They're going to struggle with him more this year because I don't know. I just don't think they can handle when he gets out of the pocket, and he just kind of runs around like he's playing on a playground, which is not going to translate to shit in the NFL. And somebody's going to pick him in the first couple picks, which is stupid. But anyways, I don't know. That's all they have. I don't think they even have a running game really. And their defense is, I don't think that great because Arizona was lighting them up last night. So I don't know.
Yeah, they played the terrible. So it's It's a night game, 7:30. I don't think ESPN's going there, but big noon kickoff is going to be there. Brady Quinn is going home, and he's going to. They're going to have that. So I think I'm going to switch.
Brady Quinn and Matt Leinart.
Yeah, Matt Leinart. Yeah, I forgot. Reggie Bush is gone though, right?
Yeah.
He what happened to Reggie Bush?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right. Well,
yeah, he's gone.
what else? All right.
Mike, they picked up Mark Ingram as the other guy now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that dude's still big.
Yeah,
Big meat face.
he comes on. He comes on the field for your corporate flag football game, and you're like, nah, I'm not playing.
Right. Predictions, Clutch. What do you think?
I'm going to go
Notre Dame.
27-12 USC.
I am going to say that Notre Dame wins this game.
Oh, come on, Dan.
Yeah, I think they are. I really do. Well, you know why? Because listen,
Because
because
you have a glass of Kool-Aid sitting there off to the right of you.
no, because they're gonna fix it this week. They're gonna fix what they gotta fix. They're gonna take a hammer to the shit. And they're gonna fix it.
Yeah, they're going to fix it by going down to O'Reilly offensive coordinator.
Well,
They're not a sponsor of Broish, by the way, but if they want to be, they can. But
I'll take True Value Hardware, Ace Hardware.
they'll fix it.
Just
yeah,
I mean, we gotta
deep
fix this shit. Yeah, fix it. Just
Gorilla
fucking
Glue.
fix it.
Somebody should ship them a big old 5-gallon drum of Gorilla Glue and say, or Flex Seal and say, fix this shit. Shit's leak.
Sure.
This offensive line is leaky. Here's some Flex Seal.
Mr. O'Malley.
All right, I'm done.
All right, Alexa.
When Mannix gets quiet, I know I need to shut up. All right.
Wait a minute. But was I quiet?
Yeah, but that's how it is. My connection is like that.
Oh, I gotcha. No, I was rubbing Mr. O'Malley's head. Anyway.
I didn't know you had a Mr. O'Malley. I can't even see you, by the way. I lost you 25 minutes ago. I could see the Twitter stuff, but I can't see your camera. I don't know why. So, it did that last.
So Alexa needs to. She needs to give us some. Hey, Notre Dame. Can you ask Alexa for Notre Dame to pull their heads out of their asses?
Hey, Alexa, please add Notre Dame offensive coaching staff to pull their head out of their asses to my shopping list.
Notre Dame offensive coaching staff to pull her head out of their asses added to shopping list. If that wasn't right, just say, Alexa, remove that.
No, that's correct,
That's
Alexa.
completely correct. Yes.
Keep it.
All right.
Hey, and save Notre Dame. Save Notre Dame, please, for fuck's sake. Save them. Save them for the game.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.